I would like to call the meeting of the St. Louis County Board of Zoning Adjustment to order. May I please have a roll call?
Ms. Bills,
Yes.
Mr. Randall, Mr. Nutt,
Here.
you have a quorum.
Thank you. The Department of Planning staff members are Abby Freudel and Gretchen Arnold and Bennett Anderson. Also on the call is John Burford from the County Counsel's Office. First, I'd like to offer into the record the affidavit of publication pertaining to today's meeting, February 5th, 2025. The board hereby takes official notice of and admits into evidence on the record the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 1003, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 as amended, and Chapter 1004, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 as amended. Next, I would like to call for a motion to approve the minutes of the previous BZA meeting of January 8th, 2024.
I move to approve.
And I second it. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
The motion passes. This meeting is conducted as a teleconference and is recorded. The planning staff will read each request into the record and present the technical advice to the board if needed. The petitioner will be unmuted, state his or her name, and make a brief presentation to the board explaining the reason and hardship for the requested variance. The board will not consider financial hardships. Board members may ask questions to clarify the facts. When the board is satisfied with the material presented, the chairperson will then ask if there is anyone in favor or opposition to the request. To respond, click the hand next to your name. If any comments were submitted, staff will read them into the record. Before a call for the vote, the petitioner may request a continuance in order to present additional documentation. The board may also request a continuance to gather additional information or for a visit to the site. Once comments have been heard, the chairperson will call for a vote. At that time, the discussion is ended and no further discussion is permitted. The board will generally make a decision today. In the case where there are only 2 board members present and the vote is split 1-1, the request will be continued to the next regularly scheduled meeting when all 3 members are present. If a variance is approved, the petitioner has 6 months to obtain the necessary permits or establish the use requested, or the variance will expire. The petitioner or any interested party has the right of appeal to the St. Louis County Circuit Court. Paperwork indicating the board's decision will be emailed to the petitioner after the hearing.
All right. First petition 0525 Cijo Matthews. This is a request for an exception to the front yard regulations and the floodplain regulations for the purpose of constructing a single-family home at 10021 Gregory Court, maintaining a front yard of 11 feet in lieu of 25 feet as required by the R2 Residence District regulations, and a rear yard of 3 feet in lieu of 25 feet as required by section 1003.101 floodplain regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Gary, I'm going to ask you to unmute if you want to go ahead.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the Board of Adjustment. My name is Gary Ploesser. I'm here representing the owners of 10021 Gregory Court. Gregory Court is at the intersection of Tesson Ferry Road and Highway 21. To just give you a little brief history of it, the subdivision above us called Caroline Drive was put in 1951. That's to our north. And to our west is a subdivision called Lookout Hill. It was put in 1959. In 1966, MoDOT came through to widen Tesson Ferry and bought up all the right-of-way, that they thought they needed at the time. And they put in 270 and widened Highway 21. In the meantime, this piece of ground was left. So in 1990, it was made a 3-lot subdivision called Palabix, I guess is how you pronounce it. We're lot 1, which is shown here in the photo. It falls off considerably, and as you can see by our survey site plan, there's still a lot of MoDOT right-of-way there that we didn't feel like they needed. So MoDOT will sell excess right-of-way if they don't think they need it anymore. But unfortunately, they think they need to keep this. So we were not able to move everything up forward. So as you look at our site plan, the 25-foot setback starts pretty far back from the curb. We tried to buy all the right-of-way between the property line and the curb and stayed 11 feet off of it like the county or 12 in that region, and we're denied. So, so that's the reason we're gonna go ahead and keep the lot the way it is. In the Lookout Hill subdivision, everyone has a creek in the back, as we do too. We've plotted the floodplain line, which is the dashed line there, and that's called Matisse Creek, by the way. The setback from that would be 25. The setback from the front would be 25. So you can see what the red lines would, that's the only buildable area that we would have there. So our request, since we've expired or tried anything we could, as far as we tried twice contacting MoDOT, changing each time a little bit less, but they denied our request to buy something. So our hardship is the fact that the house is going to be so far back from the curb because of the setback, and we'd actually like to have relief from the creek in the back as well.
Are there any questions?
So just for clarification, it sounds like there's 2 variance requests here. And just to confirm that one cannot happen without the other. So there's no way to meet with this floor plan layout, there's no way to meet the setback and the either or the stream buffer. So it's a request that they both have to go or none, right? Just looking for a point of clarification. Okay.
That's correct, sir.
I have no other questions.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
I don't see any hands.
Okay. Okay, so we'll go ahead and vote on this. In the matter of 0525, I vote to approve the variance as advertised, and the hardship just being the odd shape of the lot and the need to comply with the right-of-ways from MoDOT.
I will second and add both variances for clarification.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
The motion passes.
All right. Up next, we have 0625 Union Electric Ameren. This is a request for an exception to the side yard regulations for the purpose of erecting a cell tower at 8200 Fine Road, maintaining a side yard of 126 feet in lieu of 199 feet as required by the M2 Industrial District Regulations and Section 1003.175B Telecommunication Tower Regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. So Russell, I'm going to ask you to unmute if you want to proceed with your case.
Good afternoon. My name is Russell Bean. I'm with Cellective Solutions. We are a site acquisition company who has been hired by Ameren UE to help them construct their private LTE network. There are approximately 42 sites in the major metropolitan area, including St. Louis City, St. Louis County, Jefferson County, Franklin County, and St. Charles County. They are wanting to erect a 195-foot telecommunication, 199-foot telecommunication tower at their plant on what we call Merrimack, which is just south of Beechtree Park. We are requesting a variance. The required elevation to have the tower below 200 feet, which would require it to be lit. We needed to be higher up on the hill. I don't know if you're familiar with the site, but the elevation and the topography is greatly varied. And in order to find a flat spot, in order to construct our tower and compound and be at the required elevation for our radio frequency engineer, we needed to be at the spot proposed, which puts us approximately 126 feet from the eastern property line. To the east is the heavily wooded section of Beechtree Park. The site that we are on is zoned industrial, which does allow us to go to the height as requested. But due to the topography, we requested variance of setback so that we could meet the RF coverage objective, and while finding, as I mentioned, a flat spot to locate the tower compound. And I would be open to any questions.
Just looking for a point of clarification that the topography, the existing topography, is the hardship that you're noting.
That is correct.
Okay. Just want to make sure we stated it clearly. I have no other questions.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
Don't see any hands. I'm going to mute the petitioner.
Okay.
Okay.
This one is 06, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the case
No,
of,
is it 06? Sorry. Yeah, 06. Sorry, Vince.
in the case of 0625, I will make a motion to approve the variance citing the hardship for an existing topography needing to hit radio frequencies.
I second it. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the motion passes.
We have 0725, Stephanie Schmidt. This is a request for an exception to construct an 8-foot tall fence at 1266 Greenfall Drive, maintaining both side yards of 0 feet in lieu of 6 feet as required by the R3 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. So we have Jason on here. I'm going to ask Jason to unmute. Jason, can you hear us?
There we go. How about now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you guys very much for taking the time to listen to this request. This is a customer of ours, Mr. and Mrs. Stephanie Schmidt on 1266 Green Falls Drive. I'm the fence installer, and we actually constructed this fence already, unbeknownst to me that it was an 8-foot fence. My guys erected it thinking that there was no permit needed in St. Louis County for a fence, but obviously there is one for a fence that is 8 foot tall. So here we are today trying to get a variance to allow this fence to stay erected on the property. I believe the setback is 6 feet, but obviously that would be too far into the property line on the sides. So we would like to be right on the property line. There's a fence, currently a chain link fence on one neighbor's side to the left as you're looking at that plot plan. And then, left of the side of that house. And then on the right side, there is no fence currently. So we just have it right on the property line. And we got it all in the back of the house like it's supposed to be. So the front and the two sides are 8 foot tall. And then the back line butts up to common ground, so there's no houses back there, and that is a 6 foot tall fence. The reason the customer would like to have the 8 foot tall fence is the hardship, as I noted in their letter, is for privacy. They have a very nice backyard with a pool and a sitting area, and so the neighbor to the left is up above them on the hill, and they say it's very convenient for them to look down into the yard, and they're just looking for more privacy. That's why they chose to go with a taller fence. And then also the second hardship that they noted was they had an issue with their dog, I guess ingesting some chemicals, had to take them to a vet, and they're just hoping that having a solid fence from the ground up on the sides can help avoid those situations.
Okay.
One question for me, just to clarify, I couldn't see from the photo, is the ground pretty level so it maintains 8 foot all the way across, or does the height of the fence vary?
That is correct. It's pretty level, but really the way the fence is designed, it actually goes with the slope. So it's not stair stepped, so there's no gaps at the bottom. The fence is about they want it as low as possible. So we got it about 1 inch off the grade. So the fence is it's the same 8 foot from point A to point B all the way around.
Okay.
Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
I don't see any hands.
Okay. In the matter of 0725, I vote to approve the variance. As advertised, the hardship was just the need for increased privacy due to the pool and the animal that's on the residence.
Second that motion.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the motion passes.
Okay. Up next, we have unfinished business ready for action. This is 0225, Eric Mccall, and it is a request for an exception to the front yard regulations for the purpose of replacing a deck and stairs at 594 Woodlyn Crossing, maintaining a front yard of 13 feet in lieu of 20 feet as required by the R4 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Ron, I'm gonna ask you to unmute now and you can proceed with your case.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, my name is Ron from Western Fence and Deck. Our issue here is we had a previous permit that was granted. Upon doing the demolition of the deck, it was very apparent that the deck was not built properly. So we had to increase the height of the deck by 10.5 inches. Which also increased our stair length on both sides. We are on a 33-degree angle of the driveway there. And in order to make it pass code with St. Louis County, because we deal with St. Louis County all the time, we had to bring the stairs down about another 3 foot in order to make a proper landing with the proper code. And that's why we're looking for the variance. Because we turned in the new plans, but then we got brought to this point here that it wouldn't work. Yes, there it is right there. Mm-hmm. So I have to increase it to where I can hit the actual driveway and make a proper 7¼ inch step. But with the old setup that they had, it could not work because it would not pass code.
And it seems like you basically need a new entrance for the front of the home.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's no way to do that with how it was with our original plans. But we had no idea about that until we did the demo. It was not even on the ledger board, and it was halfway on the concrete footing and halfway on nothing. So we had to raise it up to the actual wooden ledger board underneath the step.
Okay.
Looks like the adjacent homes on the datum follow a similar datum line.
Yes, several of the homes, if you look down, have the same deal. In fact, the next door neighbor, his is out that far too, because I don't believe that this deck was actually done with a permit originally.
Okay.
I have no other questions.
Okay. And basically you plan to follow the lines of the home so it won't be sticking out in any kind of odd direction, right?
Yes, it's going to come out from the center of the door, then it's going to come back towards the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
we have to hit a level spot on the driveway in order for it to pass code.
Okay. So just like the other ones down the street.
Yes, just like
Okay.
every single one on that street.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
I don't see any hands.
Okay.
In the case of this is 0225, I make a motion to approve the variance citing the hardship of safety concerns needing to hit a secure level of the driveway for safety concerns.
Okay. I second it. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The motion passes.
Okay, that's all the petitions we have today. So I will take a motion to adjourn whenever you're ready.
Okay. I move to adjourn the meeting.
I second that motion.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The motion passes. See you all next month.
All right.
Yeah.
See ya.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
See where it says record.
Mhm.